Let's talk.
Giles Brown.
The silent spin. The silent spin is living with vertigo. Now, many of us won't know what vertigo is. You will have heard of it. You might think it's something that you suffer from only if you go up a high building or something like that. It's one of the conditions that people don't talk about. People don't think, oh, I'm just feeling a bit dizzy. Well, I'm delighted to say that I'm joined live in the studio by Paula Kew, and she's here to educate me and let me know what exactly vertigo is. First time on radio, Paula. Good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Giles. I'm great, thank you. Thank you for inviting me today.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. No, you see, I get these people saying, "Oh, Giles, you do medical bits and pieces. I'm always talking to therapists, but that's enough about my private life. But I'm always talking to therapists or psychiatrists or whatever, people who've got conditions, obviously." Yeah. And vertigo is a bit of a strange one because I was joking off air, but people will say, "Oh, well, it's a film by Hitchcock or it's a song by U2," and we kind of think it's that sort of being scared of going up, almost like a fear of heights, but it's not, is it? So explain to an idiot like myself, if you wouldn't mind, what exactly we're talking about here.
Yeah, so vertigo is an illness which is invisible. There's over 1.2 billion people worldwide that suffer from this, from dizziness, and it's really a situation where it started 18 months ago when I had treatment for my neck, etc. And what happened was that night I had 4 hours of severe vertigo, which means the room is spinning 360. Right. You fall on the floor and you sickness. It was absolutely horrendous. I managed to get through that night, but the following night it happened again and my son took me to hospital. It took them around 24 hours to stop the spin. It's absolutely incredibly awful. It's very much, it makes you very isolated. Everyday chores are all challenges because you can't do anything. Going out in supermarkets, it's one of those which is very invisible and a lot of people can't see. I look fine, but obviously underneath, everything is very overwhelming for me. So it took about 7 months when I first got it. I went to have tests, neurologists and everything like that, and everyone said, "No, you're fine, you're fine." It wasn't until 7 months down the line that I went to my local doctor and she sent me through to the high care clinic.
So, is this literally like, and again, I know nothing about this, when you say that, is it like being on a roller coaster?
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like being on a boat, and how I would describe it is like being on a ferry merry-go-round when you're spinning and also on a boat. So it's evil. It's really awful. Your whole life changes forever. You cannot see anything correctly. You're holding on to things. The stability of what you can feel around you. Like when you're walking, you feel like you're walking on marshmallows. That's how I would describe it. It's just awful. And there's billions of people worldwide that suffer from this.
And can something trigger this attack, or are there attacks? You're not having it now, for example.
No.
Okay.
No, I've had a lot of treatment, different types of holistic treatments. There's lots of variations of treatment for vestibular conditions. My situation is that for the first 7 months I was being treated for the vertigo, having infusions and things like that and injections to stop feeling sick.
Right.
However, nobody could really understand what the issue was at that point. It was only until I went to the high care clinic that an ears, nose and throat specialist then went through.
Vestibular?
It's vestibular vertigo is what they
call it. That's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah.
But is there a trigger on this, and how long do they last? Can you feel? This? I'm just trying to think. If you don't know if there's no trigger that's going to come on, you can't drive.
You don't know. Absolutely. You just don't know when you're going to have a situation. It could be anything. It could be driving here today. For example, when I realised that I didn't know where I was going, that can be a trigger. Yeah. Different things, like with seizures, etc. The lighting. If you've got a light flickering, neon lights, anything like that. He's
looking at the ceiling. Sorry, listeners.
They're not flickering.
Yeah,
so
they're not flickering. Right. I'm just
But anything can trigger it. Loud noises, anything. You get into a muffle situation where you get very jumbled up in your head, and that triggers it. And then, of course, you can't come back from that. It takes you to 4 to 5 hours to then rest and just relax yourself. I do different things with acupuncture, things like that are very, very good. Lymphatic drainage massages, all of those things do help control.
Because I mean, I've never met anybody who suffers from vertigo that I know
not?
before. No, but you see,
So many people.
Well, this is the thing, and you talk about it being the silent spin. I've never met anybody who said, no, I can't think of anybody that I've met who said, really? Because presumably, in my parents' dinner, I'm born in the 60s. My mum's friend would have taken even more pills and lie down in the back room but that was just our parents in the 60s. I have a martini with a couple of pills in it, and mummy will be done for the afternoon.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying here? I mean, I haven't come across people who have, well, I don't think these words suffer, but have the same condition as you do. Is there a community that suddenly, as soon as you found you had it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's we're part of the Meniere's group and Vertigo. It's extensive. There's so many people. There's millions of people that suffer. In America, I'm part of a lot of groups there, and they have a lot of people there. But in Europe, nobody really talks about this. That's why I'm here today. My passion is to be the voice, because there are so many people that suffer from this, and they suffer in silence. It's probably one of the most isolating. It is the silent killer. You can't see it, so I look fine. But like I say, so many people suffer from this, and it makes you very lonely because you become isolated. It's very emotional. It affects your mental well-being in every aspect of your life, which, in work, home life, everything changes forever. You have to adjust and adapt to your situation. I'm 18 months down the line here, and I've had a lot of support in different areas, but my job is to make sure I make awareness, because I can guarantee you there are so many people here that suffer from this.
Again, I know nothing. Is this progressive, or is this...
Yes, so
right.
I was diagnosed when I went to the high care clinic. It took them 24 hours to stop the spin. That was probably the worst time. And do you know what? They were fantastic. The nurses, all of them were fantastic. It took them 5 infusions, 3 injections. It took them literally 24 hours to stop. And my fantastic surgeon there, my specialist, he said, I think you have Meniere's disease. Now, Meniere's makes you... It's similar to vertigo. Meniere's is incurable. And you actually become deaf and tinnitus, and that's what I've got on top. So that's what we're looking at here, the Meniere's and vertigo.
So, when you... in one way, this must be, as you said, isolating, frightening.
Totally.
Because you're inside your head, aren't you? And,
totally.
And there's no worse place to be. We joke about that.
Ask my son.
Yeah.
I mean, it come to a point when he'd say, stop hitting your head against the wall, Mum.
Yeah.
And he was upset because he could see that it was so... It just suffocated me. It took over my whole life.
But at the same time, the relief is that you know what it is, and there is some sort of treatment. And then I suppose when you have, it's like any illness you can have, or if you suffer from, I don't know. I mean, but people always say, for example, with alcohol, I thought I was the only one, and then I went to a meeting, and then I met thousands of us out there. But you know what I'm saying here. And suddenly you've got a group. Then it's like, okay, I'm not the only one going through this, and it affects families, as we say here.
Yeah,
so that's got to be, that's got to be something of a comfort, because there's no worse feeling than just thinking I'm a freak, if you're part of the expression.
Yeah, well, absolutely, but it took about 7 months to get there, and it wasn't until I got the support with the high care. They were absolutely phenomenal, and the groups. I've done a lot of research, and we are, as now I'm the ambassador for the high care, we're doing a lot of research to help people, because there's just not the diagnosis. It took 7 months down the line. Now, these people, everyone is suffering in silence. I'm here to say, look, we can help you, support you all the way through this, with respect for finding you the diagnosis sooner. We actually researched it and found out that a lot of the dizziness was down to the misalignment in the atlas in the top of the neck. We then got the high care clinic, then actually got the 3D scanning. They were the first place in Spain, hospital, to get this scanning. And yes, it was diagnosed with misalignment of the atlas.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with that in mind, I'm now going to go get treatment, which is in America, to get this to help. So that's where my journey's at the moment.
I mean, were you sort of medically inclined before this happened, or
right?
So I'm just thinking here, because
I have researched.
You're rather gorgeous looking, the whole thing. And I'm thinking, maybe a medical student, but no, this happened, and then you went, this is my path.
Absolutely, this is my path, and there's so much to learn. There's so many different vestibular issues and dizziness, and so many different causes, and people just don't get the right diagnosis early. And this is what I'm here to do: is to say, we need to make sure that these people get diagnosed earlier and don't suffer the 7 months that I did. And that's really what my passion is, to get the awareness out there.
So what's next? For you, and what's next for you? What you're doing in Spain, or to raise awareness, as it were.
Yeah. So myself and the High Care Clinic, I'm now the ambassador for them. We're doing a presentation tomorrow for the medical industry with my specialist. I'm also looking at sponsorship. My next move is to keep researching and understanding everything there is to know about this. There's so much to be involved with it. And also to get this treatment in America. That's my main objective, is now to get this treatment in America for my misalignment in the atlas, which has been not diagnosed until a year later, so I've suffered a long time.
If anybody's sort of thinks what she's talking about, I think I've got that as well.
Yeah.
And I just thought I was being a bit dizzy, a bit more ditzy than normal.
Yeah. No,
I mean, what if people want to get in contact with you? If people want to touch base, where can they find you?
Absolutely, we hear you. I've just set up a Facebook page, The Silent Spin, and I'm looking to start doing tutorials and blogs on there for you.
Right.
But just to let everybody know, I'm sure, and I've met so many people that have, I have a friend that's had that, and I said, what was the diagnosis? And they say, well, nothing. Because they've been to, nothing. And so nobody's actually got the help. So my job is to make sure that I'm here to support them and put them on the right track to find the right consultant, the right help that they need, and as soon as possible, and not let these people wait, because every second of every hour of every day is incredibly isolating and incredibly overwhelming. So my support here and my determination, direction, is to make sure that we find them the help and support we can.
Just give me there's a website up already, there's going to be a Facebook blog.
Facebook is The Silent Spin, Living with Vertigo. Yep. And we've just set that up last week.
Okay.
And that will be live from next week. And if you'd like to follow us, please do. As I said, I am currently on lots of groups which are called Vertigo and Meniere's disease.
Okay.
And really, I just want to make sure that I get out there and help and support these people.
Well, listen, I knew nothing about this when I came in.
Right.
Thank you for sharing this with me. I mean, it's put a really different angle on it. I was going to say put a really different spin on it than I thought before, but that would have been...
The silent spin.
The silent spin. Paula Kew. So go for that's not the letter, but it's Q as in gardens. Check out the group, which is called The Silent Spin. I'm sure if you key that into your search engine, it'll come in. Thank you very much, Paul. Come back and let us know how it's going in a couple of months' time, Paula Kew. Thank you so much for your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Giles. Thank you so much.